Okay. Which is a good thing to do, right? Smile. So as many of you know, we lost our second dog on Tuesday, and it's sad, and I'm going to try not to cry. But we've been thinking about all the things that we are grateful for, having them for over 14 years, for their unconditional love. How grateful I am. I'm grateful for us all being here together. I'm grateful for Zoom. I am grateful that this can all happen. And yoga is one of the things that helps me get through difficult times. So I'm inviting you to join me in this practice of gratitude. So let's begin by coming inside and closing our eyes. We're going to work on a breath called the breath of victory. It's Ujjayi breath in Sanskrit, and it requires that you constrict your throat so that your nose is the air is restricted to coming in and out through your nose. So what I do to help me cut off and restrict that breath is put my tongue like behind my teeth on that ridge behind your teeth, that palate, I guess that is. And it helps so that when you breathe in and breathe out, you can hear your breath. This is sometimes referred to as the ocean sounding breath. And if you can hear that beautiful sound of that life force energy coming in and out of your body, what a beautiful thing. The reason it's called the breath of victory is because it is the warrior's breath. It is the breath that we use when we need to focus. So think about that as you're doing this. And you hear the sound of your breath. It causes you to focus. So it's a wonderful thing to use. It's a wonderful breath to use when you're in a challenging pose or when you need to hold a pose. Come to your Ujjayi breath. And you won't feel the limitations of your body. You won't feel the pressure of the pose, if there is any at all. When you're holding a pose, there usually is. It's also a very soothing breath. After your next exhale, return to your natural breath and open your eyes. Okay. And bring your hands alongside your hips as we begin our warm-ups. As I mentioned earlier, if you have a strap and a block, please have them handy. If not, you will show you how to do various poses without them, but it would be good to have those, all right? So let's start with our lateral stretch. Over to the right, left arm alongside left ear, stretching your left side body. Then let your left arm reach up for the sky. Rotate your arm so your thumb is facing away from you, and bring the back of your hand to the back of your heart. And then use a little bit of encouragement from that hand, a little pressure to open up. So that would also require your pressing your right hand into the mat a little bit to help you to open up your heart to the sky. And then release that left hand, bring it back up to the sky, turn your torso back to where it began. Place your left hand forward of your right knee, and then bring both arms to parallel. You have straight arms, you're looking forward. Inhale, bend your elbows, exhale and fold. Inhale, straight arms, exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, straight arms, slide your hands to your knee, left hand on right knee, twist to look over your right shoulder. Remember the importance of lengthening your spine on the inhale, twisting a little bit more after the exhale. Bring both arms up alongside your ears, exhaling back to center. Bring your hands down and send them back behind you. Interlace your fingers, knuckles to the mat behind you or onto your blanket. And open up your heart. Just a little baby back bend. Inhale, and then on an exhale, you're going to fold forward any amount. Your knuckles can reach straight back behind you. They can rest on your hips, or you might want to send them up to the sky. Inhale, unfold. Shake out your arms. Okay. Left hand comes down on the mat, lateral stretch to the left. Send your arm straight up to the sky, rotate it, back of your hand to the back of your heart, open it up. Extend your right hand, return your torso to where it was, right hand forward of left knee, parallel arms. Inhale, straight arms, exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, exhale. And the next time you're on straight arms, pause, slide your hands to your knee, right hand on left knee, turn to look over your left shoulder. Arms alongside your ears, inhaling, and exhale back to center. Bring your hands down by your side. Unfold your legs, send them straight out in front of you, shake them out. So as always, we will come with straight legs to Dandasana. Toes to the ceiling. You know this pose, elbows back. We're going to bring our knees into this inhale. Exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, bend and flex. Keep it going. And then next time your hand is at your heart, pause. Inhale, straight arms, knees are bent. Inhale again, exhale. Engage your abs and hinge from your hip sockets to fold over your extended legs any amount. It's early in class, so you might want to keep your knees bent. If you have flexible hamstrings, then straighten your legs. Look up, bring your arms alongside your ears and unhinge. And bring your hands down by your side. All right. Bring your right leg, your knee into your chest and open it out to the side. Square your shoulders, arms straight up. Left toe is pointing to the sky. That leg is active. Inhale, exhale, fold over your extended leg. Remember, you can move the position of your right foot anywhere along your leg if your knee is not happy today. Like mine is telling me to move it. Look up, arms alongside your ears, unhinge. Bring your right hand down alongside your right hip. Use your left hand as your propeller to bring you up onto your shin. Now let's take advantage of being up here to stretch our full side body. Send your left arm alongside your left ear, toes pointing in the opposite direction of your fingers to stretch your full side body. And then let your left arm lead you back down. All right. Extend your right leg. Left knee comes into your chest. Open it out to the side. And again, your your heel can be all the way up to the top of your thigh, or it could be anywhere along your leg, depending on what your knees will allow. Inhale. Deep breath. Exhale. Extend over your extended leg. Look up, arms alongside your ears, and unhinge. Left hand comes down alongside left hip and spring yourself up. Right arm alongside right ear, toes going the opposite way to stretch your side body, your full side body. And then use your right arm to come back down to the mat. Extend both your legs. All right, good. And we're going to come to a child's pose. And make this an extended child's pose by stretching your arms overhead, palms on the mat. You're going to lift your hips, send your hips forward, your heart between your arms, lengthen your legs back behind you. Push the mat away with your hands. Use your core to keep you from the mat. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. When you get your alignment, chest toward thighs, heels towards mat, begin to walk your dog, bending one knee and then the other. And then bring both heels to the mat, towards the mat. Come forward to plank. Now here's a good time to use that Ujjayi breath as we hold for 20 seconds. Downward facing dog. Amazing how long 20 seconds can be, right? All right, so now we're going to do a little flow. So come to your knees first, bring your knees down to the mat. You're gonna stay right where you are. So we're going to start this, we're going to do the poses we just did, but we're going to do it in a bit more of a flow. So turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank, bring your knees to the mat, bring your hips to your heels. Come forward, your heart between your arms, downward facing dog. So you're leaving your toes turned under through this. Plank, knees down, hips to your heels. Come forward, downward facing dog. Plank, knees, hips, forward, dog. Once more, plank, knees, hips, forward, down dog. Come forward to plank, bring both knees to the mat, slide your hands to your knees. All right. Okay. Okay. So send your right leg straight out to the side, right? So we're going to do a gate pose, and in Phalakasana, in gate pose, you're usually asked to send your toes away from you. And to do that, you need to rotate your whole leg so that your knee goes with your toes. However, you may find that having your toes go towards the right is a little bit more comfortable for you, for your body. And I'm going to stay this way today. And one of the reasons I'm going to suggest we stay this way, just for this time. Now, again, if this is better for you, please do whatever works. But because I want us to do a little patterning for triangle pose, thank you. Triangle pose. I'm so glad Bill is here because, you know, when I have these memory lapses. Okay, so square your shoulders. All right. So instead of sending your hand down as we usually do in a gate pose, you're going to bring the back of your hand inside your thigh, bring your left arm straight up, and instead of sliding your hand toward your ankle, you're going to bring it straight down, your fingers to the mat, and then look up at your left hand. This is a knee down triangle pose. Now, when we're standing, your fingers may not reach the mat, which is why I asked you to have a block, and you'll see that later when we're standing. So you're down in your pose. Now let's see if you can come to parallel arms over to the right. Bring both arms up to center. Then bring your right hand down. If you had a block, that would be helpful to put under your left hand, or you can bring your left hand all the way to the mat and send your right arm alongside your right ear. And then lift your bottom arm for parallel arms to the left. If not, just leave your hand back down. This involves core strength, so use your abs. Bring your hands back up, release them down, bring your right knee down. Take a breath. Yeah, I see the layers starting to come off. All right. We're working up a little heat. So let's do that on the other side. So if at all possible, you'll send your toes to the left because that's what we do in triangle. However, this is your body, your leg. If this is more comfortable, please do that. All right. So we're going to bring our back of our left hand inside, right arm up, left fingers onto the mat. Look up at your right hand for a knee down triangle. Come to stand more, come up and with your arm. Send your left arm straight out to the left and your right arm alongside your ear to come parallel with your left. Bring both arms straight up. Right hand on a block or on the mat. And bring your left hand alongside your left ear. And then perhaps you'll float both arms. And then make yourself back up on your knee and come on both knees. Okay. So you know where we'll be going in our standing poses, doing a bunch of triangles. Okay, so let's come to child's pose. Take a few breaths here. And you're going to send your arms straight out in front of you for an extended child's pose. You're going to lift your hips. And this time when you come forward and pause, you're going to make circles with your hips. They can be little circles, big circles, medium-sized circles, whatever your body allows, and your knees, because that's a lot on your knees. Next time you're forward, pause and go the other way. And then next time you're forward, turn under your toes, downward facing dog. If you have a blanket under you, move it out of the way. And you're going to walk your feet to your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. And then very slowly unfold. Head is the last body part to come up. All right. And come to your mountain when you're all the way up. Right. Bring your hands to your thighs. Send your hips back behind you. We're not going to go into a deep chair. What we want to do is just rest our hands on our thighs for a moment so that we can do some cats and dogs, since we didn't do that while we were seated. So inhale, send your heart forward. Exhale, your spine reaches back behind you. Inhale, send it forward. Follow your undulating spine back and forth like a spiral. And then the next time your spine is reaching behind you, pause. Slide your hands down toward your feet. Keep your knees bent. Then you're going to fly out and up and bring your prayer overhead. Anjali Mudra. Bring it to your heart. All right. And release your arms. So we're going to, before we go into our flow, which will include triangle, I'd like us to work a little bit on triangle pose. So if you have a block, you'll take hold of your block. You're going to come to warrior 2 feet. All right? You're going to place the block inside your leg, any height. I recommend starting with the highest height. If you don't have a block, then you'll just let your hand float. That's quite all right. But the nice thing about having the block is it helps you in our effort to lengthen our spine, because I want you to think about this. A triangle has all straight lines. There are no curves. So when we go to triangle, we shouldn't be curling our spine like this. I see this a lot. And what you want is a straight spine. So what that means is keeping your whole spine as one long line. So let's try this. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Yeah, okay. And as you straighten your leg, you're going to push in a little bit to your thigh, bringing your left hip, your left pelvic bone over your right pelvic bone, so that this whole torso, your whole torso, but from the crown of your head all the way down to the base of your spine, is one long line. Your knee can stay bent for this demonstration. And here's your block. You can use your block for your triangle. You can put it at any height. So come up for a moment, and I want you to take a look at what I'm doing, because I want to demonstrate the spine, and some of you have this perfectly, but it's really good to see. So I'm making an effort to keep my spine really, this whole part of my body, yeah, everything beside except my limbs, right, long, keeping it long, crown of my head down, so that when I come into a triangle position, my spine stays long. And what does that allow me to do? It takes my shoulders with me, because my shoulders need to be in line with my leg, my triangle leg. It allows me, my head to move forward, and it allows me to come down a little bit more, right? And come into. So you want first to get that long spine before you do anything else, right? Now, another thing that's important, I'm going to do it on this side. Another thing that's really important is that often you'll see people in triangle, and very experienced yogis do it this way. You know, teachers do it this way with their hand on their shin. I do not teach it that way for one really important reason. The teachers and the people who do it this way do not put any weight on their shin. But when you teach it this way, what happens is that students forget and they put their weight on the shin. You're in a very vulnerable position with your shin. This is weight bearing. You don't want to put so much weight onto your shin. So either you tap it gently, or always bring the back of your hand inside for that to safety. So that's a precaution. The other thing I'd like you to keep in mind, and I mentioned this before, and again, you can do these things with me or watch, is that a triangle pose, you're trying to keep everything in line. Your shoulders in line with your leg, right? So that again, it is all these beautiful straight lines, yeah? You want to work to have your arms in a straight line. So that's another reason I don't like this, because it takes away those, well, it's a straight line, but it's a bit more of a diagonal. I like better having fingers to fingers, but you can do that from all the way up here. Some of you can't go down as far as the floor, as the mat, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to show you, and again, do this with me, how you can achieve a straight line without coming down very far. Right? So it's just keep in mind that long straight line, even if it's not as far down as I did it previously, it's still a straight spine. Yeah? So that's your triangle. I'm just doing this because my knees have asked me to. Okay, all right. So take a breath. All right. And then later, we'll use the strap is here to do a bound triangle. And I will show you a way to do it without the strap if you don't happen to have one, all right? So let's come to the top of our mat. Inhale, gather. Exhale, soften your knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Right leg goes back. Low lunge. Line up your low lunge, and when you're in your low lunge, make sure you push that left hip in so that it's not sticking out to the side. You want a nice hip to hip. You want to keep your pelvis intact. Yeah. Place the palm of your right hand under your shoulder, your left hand on your thigh, and twist toward your left thigh. And once you've twisted all the way, extend your arm. Now, some of you are extremely flexible in the waist and can twist. You can do it all at once. I'm not going to do that, though. And bring your hand back down. Place both hands flat on the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Think about Ujjayi breath, because we're going to twist to the side, right? You're going to swivel your feet for a side plank. You're either stacking your legs, or you have one in front of the other, or you have a supported side plank. Either way, then back to down dog. Step your right foot forward. Place your left foot flat on the mat. Warrior One legs. Send your arms streaming alongside your hips. Once again, use those arms alongside your hips as a channel to keep your hips from jutting out to the side. Swing your arms all the way up. Press your front foot into the mat, arms alongside ears. Warrior One, knee over ankle or behind ankle, not forward of. If you want a longer Warrior One, you can heel toe your foot, your front foot farther away from you, but keep that knee over, don't let the knee go past your ankle. Right. Send your arms straight out to the side. Twist, keeping your arms reaching out to the side toward your bent knee to the right, any amount. And slowly come through center, over to the other side, twisting to the opposite side. And as you do that, step your back foot into Warrior Two legs. Right. Peaceful warrior. Trikonasana, side angle. So your right forearm is on your right thigh. Your left arm is alongside your left ear. Your chest is open. Your heart is open. So you're not closing up, you're opening. Right. Come back to Warrior Two. So you can begin this triangle by reaching out. But what we really want, what the most important thing is hip over hip. As you straighten your leg, bring your hand inside your leg, straight arms, straight leg. And when you get there, then look up at your left hand. Back to Warrior Two. Swivel back to Warrior One. Bring your hands to the mat. Step your right leg back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Send your toes straight up to the ceiling. Your left heel comes down towards the mat. Bend your right knee, opening up your hips. Square your hips with the mat. Draw your knee underneath you and pause for a moment. And then send your right leg, your bent leg, over to the left side, outside your mat. You're going to step it outside to the left. You're going to swivel on your left foot, bringing the sole of that foot to the mat so that you can fan open for a fallen triangle. Notice all the straight lines. Ujjayi breath might be good right about now. Bring your hand back to the mat. Step your foot back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward to your hand. 1, 2, or 3 steps. Your left foot, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. Take a breath before we do the other side. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, left leg steps back, low lunge. Palm of left hand, wrist under left shoulder. Square off your hips. Twist to your thigh, extend your arm. Bring your hand down to the mat. Step your right foot back for downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. And once again, you're going to swivel your feet in any way that works for you for side plank. Bring your hand down, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Place your right foot flat on the mat for warrior 1. Stream your arms alongside your hips. Keep your hips square. Bring our warrior up from the earth. Warrior 1. Feel the power of this warrior pose. Come to Ujjayi breath here. The breath of victory. And then pause, bring your arms straight out to the side. Twist to the left. Twist through center to the other side. Step in to warrior 2. Right hand on right thigh, peaceful warrior. Left forearm to left thigh, Trikonasana, side angle stretch. Open up your heart. Come back to warrior 1. Straighten your left leg and begin the process of stacking your hips, opening up your heart for your triangle, block or no block. Look up at your right hand. Back to warrior 2. Bring your right hand down to the mat. come back to a low lunge, step back to downward facing dog. I know that's a little different than we did on the other side. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee. Open up your hips. Close them. Draw your left knee underneath you. Pause. Step your left foot outside the right edge of your mat. Swivel your right foot on the mat and fan open for a fallen triangle. Bring your hand down to the mat, bend your knee, step back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Step your left foot forward, step your right foot forward, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. If you have a strap, take hold of it. Just take a few breaths first before we do anything else. And I'm going to demonstrate bound triangle. All right. Come to your warrior, 2 legs. Have your strap. I have my right leg that's bent. So let's all be on the same leg. So right leg is bent. Your strap, if you have one, in your left hand, but you want to put that strap behind you and in a position so that you'll be able to take hold of it, right? And I'm going to do this in backwards too so you can see it better. All right, and I'm going to send my long straight torso down like we just did in Parsvottanasana in side angle stretch, but my arm is released. I'm going to come down a little bit more, a little bit more. I'm going to take the other end of the strap, and I'm going to keep my spine nice and long. So I have the strap in each hand. Right? And then you're going to straighten your leg and extend your torso so that you have a bound triangle, all straight lines. And I'll come back up and we'll do that on the other side, but I'm going to do it with my back facing you so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll show you what you can do if you do not have a strap handy. So left leg is forward, my right hand has the strap. I'm bringing the strap so that inside them in the middle so I can grab hold of it. Come down like you were coming down to side angle. Come down as much as you can, reach for the other end of the strap. And you're going to bring your fingers toward each other for that bound pose. So you want to stay on your thighs. Don't slide the strap in the middle here so that you protect, your genitalia, right? And then straighten your leg. Especially important for the guys in the room. Straighten your spine. For your bound triangle. All right, so I'm going to stay here. I'm going to say, so I want you to watch what I'm doing without the strap. So if you don't have the strap, you'll reach your left hand underneath your thigh. Your right hand just stays back at the back of your hand at your back. So this is a way to do it without the strap. All right. Okay. Are we all ready? Now we're going to do it for real. Okay, So I'm not going to use the strap now because I also want to show you another way of doing it, but you're going to do this with me, right? So come to your warrior two. I should have my back to you. So right leg, come down as you would for Parsvottanasana. Your right hand comes around your thigh. Your left hand is back behind you. Maybe you can bind your hands together and then straighten your leg. The trick here is to keep your spine long. But you can have your hands right here too. All right. Other side. If you feel you can make the bind with your hands, go for it, except that keep in mind that you want to keep that straight spine and you don't want your hands to come into the middle of your groin, right? So let's start with our bent knee. Come down, wrap your right hand around, and you saw how we did this with the strap. What I like about the strap is that it makes more of a bind. If your hand is just leaning on your body, you don't feel the tension, right? But that's okay. If you don't have one, you don't have one. You can still do the pose. Come back to warrior one, feet forward. Release your arms. Step your feet together. Bend your knees. Begin to sit in your chair, and you're going to continue to make your way all the way down to the mat. I think you deserve a rest after all of that. Okay. All right, come to Dandasana. That was a lot of work, yeah? Now you know why Ujjayi breath can be so helpful. Let's come back to it right now. And let it go. Send your arms straight out in front of you, palms facing each other, and make your way down to the mat. I'm not going to insist that you count, that you have any kind of a count. All right. When you get down, place your feet flat on the mat. Lengthen your spine by bringing your hips just a little bit closer to your heels. Okay. And just breathe. Press both of your shoulders into the mat and release them. Again, both shoulders. Exhale, release. Bring your knees into your chest. Hands, one hand on each knee. Send your knees away from you, your arms straightened. Bring them back in, your elbows bend. Keep that going to massage your lower back. Then bring your knees all the way in. Open them out to the sides, your hands still on one hand on each knee, your legs are wide open, but you're going to take your legs and make separate circles with them. So your knees go away from you, they come together, they come back into your chest, they go out to the sides and move away, making 2 circles. And next time your knees are into your chest, go the opposite way. And then pause with your knees into your chest. Place your feet on the mat. If you have a block, where's my block? Or a blanket, you can lift your hips and place the block below your waist, right onto your sacrum. You want a wide enough surface, like the long edge, the flat side of the block, or a blanket, so that you do not aggravate your SI joint, your sacroiliac, the sacral joint. Just trust me on that. You want your whole full sacrum flat on the mat. Feet to the ceiling. And just enjoy this inversion. We'll take a full minute here. Ujjayi breath would be nice. It's up to you. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat. Lift your hips if you have anything underneath. And then extend one leg and then the other leg. Make your way into Shavasana. Rotate your arms so that your palms can face up to the sky, your fingers curled upward in a receiving and giving gesture, mudra. Feel your whole back body letting go to gravity. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation and welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Deepen your breath. Begin to reawaken your body. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. And send your arms overhead, your feet in the opposite direction for a deep, deep, delicious body stretch. Then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side for a final massage of your back body. Then release your arms and roll over onto your left side so you can expose the sun side to prepare you for the day ahead, coming into your fetal position. And when you're ready, make your way up to sit. And if you are staying for meditation, please get yourself in your quiet position in your chair or on a blanket or a pillow or a meditation cushion. Perhaps you have one. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Remembering that you come back to your breath whenever a distraction interrupts you. This will be a meditation on gratitude. And we will start with ourselves, being grateful to yourself. Dear body, thank you for taking me where I wish to go. Thank you for all my senses, allowing me to feel, see, hear, and smell. Gifts that enrich my everyday experiences. Bring your awareness to your heart, to your whole heart center, and notice your heart beating. Thank you, dear heart, for every beat, for your nourishing rhythm. And thank you to all of my vital and intricate inner network. Thank you for the work that you do for me every moment of every day. Thank you, dear body, for being so unique, like a work of art sculpted just for me. Thank you for keeping me whole and alive inside this beautiful body, this beautiful place, so I can live this precious life. And thank you now to the earth and the heavens. Thank you, dear Mother Earth, for embracing me and weaving me into your precious ecosystem. Thank you for the sunrise that fills me with hope, for the colors you paint all around me, the red, greens, blues, browns, pinks, and all the colors in between. Thank you for the rain that nurtures your flora, for the rainbows that color the sky, for the food you give us so generously. Thank you for the snow that shimmers like frosting and invites children to play. Thank you for the sunset that calms my heart, for the evening sky filled with sparkling stars that tickle my eyes. And thank you, dear moon, for illuminating the night sky and keeping us close to this earth, our home. And this to every person, every creature I have ever known, to those with whom I have clashed, as well as those who I have loved deeply. Thank you for the lessons you taught me that allowed me to grow. Thank you for your unconditional love, your patience, your guidance. Thank you for making me laugh, for sharing my tears, for listening to my heart. Thank you for making me stronger by challenging my beliefs, my instincts, for contributing to who I am today and who I will be tomorrow. And a thank you to the divine spirit that fills me with infinite love. Thank you for keeping me safe, for holding me close, for being here inside of me to give me courage and to let me know how powerful I truly am and that I will thrive. Thank you, dear Spirit. And bring your attention to your heart center and pause here as you feel a light from the crown of your head reaching inside your body, down your arms, down your torso, down your legs, to fill you up with your power, with your energy, with your love. And allow that love and that gratitude that comes with love to reach outside your body and to spread forever into the universe. To keep each of us, all of us, connected to each other. And bring your hands to your heart, bow your head, wiggle your toes. And as you lift your head, you'll open your eyes to come back into the room. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope it's a wonderful one for you. And that maybe you have a minute or two to say hi. Oops.